Hello everyone, so this reading's focusing on the question, what do you need to forgive in yourself or others? Okay, so for the animal oracle card you've got unicorn spirit, and it says indulge your creative, imaginative and magical side through some form of artistic expression, clarified with the Seven of Wands. You also have the chimpanzee, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problems or get answers to your question. That's clarified with the Three of Wands. And then you've got the chameleon spirit, which says stay in the background and adapt to the situations rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. And that is clarified with the Five of Pentacles reversed. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Wheel of Fortune. So straight away what I'm noticing is that this reading really feels deeply connected to forgiving yourself for the ways you have had to protect and adapt and survive through difficult experiences, my darling. This feels less about kind of like dramatic forgiveness, and more about releasing this guilt or pressure or frustration or judgment around how certain situations have unfolded, both in how you've handled them and how others have also treated you as well. And there is a very strong message here around understanding that every choice, Madeline, that you've made has come from a level of awareness, strength, and survival instincts that you've had at the time. Okay, and the same as well, obviously, can often be said for others. But that doesn't excuse hurtful behaviour, but it does bring in a little bit of understanding. And sometimes, really, forgiveness is simply recognising that everyone was acting from where they were, and choosing not to carry that emotional weight for much longer. Now, what's really, what to me feels very powerful here is that the reading feels very much centered around your uniqueness, my darling. Now, the unicorn energy feels like you. You are someone who carries a very rare energy. There's something naturally magnetic, creative, expressive, intuitive, and healing about you. This is the kind of energy people notice, even if they can't fully explain why. It's bright. You've got this beautiful, beautiful, bright aura. You're unusual, and you stand out. Okay. And with the Seven of Wands clarifying this, it feels like the part of what needs forgiveness is the pressure you felt to defend the part of yourself, my darling. Life may have pushed you in situations where being fully like yourself has actually felt unsafe, where your uniqueness was misunderstood, challenged, judged, or even envied. Okay, so there's a sense here of having to protect your light, build walls around it, tone yourself down, become more guarded. So this reading is really asking you to forgive that yourself for that. Protecting yourself was never something to feel ashamed of, my darling. That's what, you were doing what you needed to do, okay? And I also feel with the Seven of Wands, it's kind of like how, it kind of carries this energy of people almost reacting to your uniqueness because they don't know how to handle it. Sometimes when someone carries such rare, authentic energy, it reflects things back to others that they haven't yet faced within themselves, okay? And instead of rising to meet that, some people resist it. They challenge it, project on it. This is not a reflection of your worth in any way, but it is often a reflection of where they kind of are within themselves, my darling, okay? Now, with the chimpanzee, with the Three of Wands, this definitely feels incredibly powerful as well, because the chimpanzee speaks of intelligence, awareness, adaptability, and using both your intuition and your intellect together, okay? So to me, this feels like another part of who you are naturally. You are not just intuitive, you're observant. You read situations deeply. You pick up on energy patterns and things that often go unnoticed by others. And because this is so natural to you, I feel, you may not always recognise actually how powerful that gift actually is. And the Three of Wands here feels like kind of like trusting what you already sense, trusting, what you see, trusting your ability to read the situations clearly. But it also feels like forgiving yourself for moments of doubt as well, for questioning whether you chose the right path, the right person, the right, steps, for overthinking the future, for hesitating while trying to work everything out. Not every pause, my darling, was wasted, okay? Some pauses have been very necessary for your preparation, And there is a real sense here that I feel as well with both of these cards being next to each other, it's kind of like you're on this higher ground, even if it hasn't always felt like it. And the Three of Wands as well, it carries this energy of knowing that what's ahead is bigger than what's behind, okay? And trusting that even when things felt unclear, you are still being guided forward. Very protected energies there, madam. And with the Chameleon and the Five of Pentacles reversed, this feels like one of the deepest parts of the reading, I'd say, because this to me speaks of forgiving yourself for adapting in ways that were necessary for the survival, for shrinking yourself maybe, for staying quiet, for blending in, for becoming smaller in certain spaces because it felt safer than standing in your standing fully in your truth, my darling. And I also feel strongly that the energy of others, okay? Now, the Chameleon can sometimes represent people who move in the background, people who wear masks, people who operate indirectly. And with the Five of Pentacles reversed, this can absolutely point towards, for me, like low vibrational energy. People acting from lack, insecurity, fear, ego, low vibrational. It's kind of like their own inner emptiness, yeah? And sometimes when people feel very disconnected from themselves, they try to drain from those who carry that light, okay? Not because your light is too much, but because they have not learned how to create their own light, how to build their own light, my darling. And this feels really like an important part of this forgiveness, like reading this message. Forgiving yourself for the times you've had to adapt to survive around these type of energies, my darling. Forgiving yourself for times you've questioned yourself because of how others have behaved towards you. The Five of Pentacles reversed also shows healing from that. It shows that you are returning to yourself again, my darling. Reclaiming that energy with the Queen of Swords at the bottom, or underneath the Wheel of Fortune. But I saw it. And remembering that there is nothing to also forgiving survival, if that makes sense. And with the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck, this just feels powerful, like a very powerful confirmation. This feels karmic to me. Like this is like a part of your path that has had to be experienced. These situations you've had to go through so you can grow through them, so you can strengthen yourself, become more powerful, more connected with yourself, more braver, more authentic. But yeah, you really have. You've had to grow through these experiences to understand them, and ultimately as well to also help others do the same, my darling. I feel with the Wheel of Fortune, it reminds you, that forgiveness is what allows the cycle as well to shift. Once you start judging yourself, and once you stop carrying that like resentment and that hurt and those memories, those words and everything like that, once you release the need to keep replaying what happened, the energy, my darling, moves. The wheel turns. Okay? So, what you need to forgive is forgive yourself for protecting your beautiful heart, your energy, yourself. Forgive yourself for adapting when you've needed to, okay, my darling? And forgive yourself for doubting yourself at times as well. And forgive yourself for not always knowing what to do. And if this is about, like, as well with others, forgive not because of what's happened was okay, but because it no longer deserves to hold power, I don't know, over your future. Cut these cords, cut these people out now, okay? Because forgiveness, my darling, here is a release. And that release is what turns the wheel forward for you, okay? I hope this reading's helped. Have a good day. Bye-bye.